Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. I'm still trying to be excited here. My daughter says I should do that or get more subscribers. So tonight's movie, Danny Collins. Got this over the Easter holiday from my father-in-law, who is one of the biggest Beatles fans I know. He is the biggest Beatles fan I know. Yeah. Loves the Beatles. Very good guitar player. Very talented in everything he does. Let's see how good he is at picking out movies, because he recommended this to me. Sounds pretty interesting. It's about an aging rock star who gets a letter from John Lennon. It's 40 years old, and he decides to change his entire life because of this letter. Interesting concept. That's all I know about it. I do know a little bit more because he told me a little bit more, but we're going to pretend that I don't so I can watch this and tell you more about it. But listen to this. Star-studded. Al Pacino, Annette Bening, Jennifer Garner, Christopher Plummer, Melissa Benoist, Supergirl, Josh Peck, and Nick Offerman. I mean, just a couple of the names that you can expect to see in this film. So, star-studded, 7.0 on IMDb, 77% of the critics on Rotten Tomatoes think it's a good movie, 73% of the audience. So, lucky number 7s. I think we're in for a fun one tonight. An hour and 47 minutes. So sit back, relax, and I'll tell you what it's all about in my first check-in and see if we got lucky tonight. Alright, see you in a bit. Hey everybody, and do a quick check-in here. Danny Collins, we're at the 51-minute and 28-second mark. And just to elaborate a little bit further on the beginning synopsis, he gets a letter from John Lennon. So he is a rock star, but he's aging, and throughout his career he was a very good writer, does an interview for a magazine, but he was writing his own songs and things like that, and then he has an album that fails, and therefore he gets writers, and now he's starting to sing songs that other people wrote for him, and he does that, and that makes him crazy amounts of money. And he has a birthday, and he's got a young fiance and all the money in the world, whatever, and he finds that John Lennon had written him an article, or a letter about the article from an interview years ago, which basically is telling him, stay true to yourself, don't change your art, those kinds of things. And from that moment on, that's where he has the epiphany and starts to make life changes. Realizes he doesn't want to do the songs that he didn't write before and just be an MC type of person. So he quits the tour and he leaves and he dumps his fiance. And he goes to New Jersey, and it's very early on, so this isn't spoiling it, I don't think. But the thing is, he has a son, and basically he's trying to make amends with his son that he has not seen. So that's really what it's all about. And I think it's more, now that you know what it's about, it's more about how does he get there, like how does he get back in with his family, if he does, or whatever. Like I said, we're not even at the halfway point yet, but wanted to elaborate a little bit on the synopsis. It's riddled with John Lennon songs. I don't know if there's any Beatles songs. I don't know if he's singing them with the Beatles or whatever. That's in there. But so far, so good. I mean, I think Al Pacino plays a great aging rock star. Very good at being the rich and famous and that kind of thing. And the way that he plays it, he's not an arrogant person, so he just has fun with it. So Melissa Benoist plays a hotel clerk, and Jennifer Garner would be his daughter-in-law. So I think that covers everybody. I forget who the other person was, but I'll look it up. But that's it. I don't want to keep going on and on. I just wanted to clear up the synopsis for you, and I'll keep it going here. If anything interesting pops up, I'll check back in. If not, I'll see you at the credits and let you know what I thought. Alright, see ya. Hey everybody, so that's it. We're at the credits of Danny Collins. Just finished out. It was pretty good. A couple of things I forgot to mention, I think, is this movie's from 2015, so I just learned about it this weekend. That's why we're watching it now. And it's based somewhat on a true story. So Al Pacino, his character is a folk singer, and this actually happened to him. Well, the fact that John Lennon had written him a letter, and he didn't receive it until like 35 or 40 years after it was written, after John Lennon was dead. In fact, he had his phone number on it, and you know, he would have called him, but John Lennon was dead. So that part of it's true. I'm not sure about if the rest of it is dramatized. But Al Pacino starts making life changes, as we talked about. So he's got two plots. There's two plots to this movie, or you know, a plot, a subplot. You know, the first one, he's changing his life, and he's trying to reconnect with a son, in addition to starting to write his own music and perform his own music. So that's, you know, really where you're led down that type of path. So what's going to happen? Is he going to be able to reconnect with his son? And how's he going to do that? You know, money's going to be involved. Is money going to be enough to win the love over? You know, and then also he's writing his own songs, and how will that be received after doing somebody else's songs if he decides to perform them and move forward with that type of thing. So that's basically what you can expect to be looking at with this film. I'm not obviously going to tell you. There are some definite twists that make it interesting that I didn't see coming, kind of thing. You know, and there's a point where it got very uncomfortable for me. And if you've watched my reviews, you could probably think about that. But it rebounds nicely, somewhat. So without going into major detail, it dipped down to a 7 because of that for me. But then maybe back up to an 8. I really did enjoy this one. I think it's worth watching. If you're into music, father-sons, family reconnecting, those types of things. I think if you're into Al Pacino, forget it. Because I think, again, he did a phenomenal job. Annette Bening was in this as well. She was a hotel manager. The other, besides her, and his son, Bobby Cannavale? I don't know how to say the last name. I'm sorry. But he was his son. They had the more prominent roles. Christopher Plummer somewhat plays his manager. But, you know, like Jennifer Garner, she was in it a little bit more. She was probably next. But then Melissa Benoist and some of the other actors were only spots, you know, not major scenes there, but definitely worth a watch. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Very interesting story. 7.5, maybe even an 8 on this one. I enjoyed it. I'm glad my father-in-law recommended it to me. Surprised I didn't hear about it back in 2015, but hey, at least I got to see it now. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know if this review helped you. And if you do watch it, I'd love to know what you think of my review. But thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.